Who's hungry? Here comes the drone. Open wide. Buzz, buzz. Alright, so for a bit of a departure from the typical videos that I produce where I talk about recipes or specific dishes, this is going to be a video where we discuss a delivery mechanism. Anyone that's aware of the situation in Ukraine knows that Ukraine is sort of on the cutting edge of drone technology. At the beginning of the war, they used sort of prefab, like Mavic drones from China and things like that, and mostly for reconnaissance. But now the drone has sort of become the most powerful tool in the Ukrainian military. So these aren't just for reconnaissance, they're not just for offensive capabilities, but they also help resupply troops at the front. So there are certain places where it's a bit too dangerous to send sort of actual resupply, and maybe they've been cut off. And so these drones allow for the delivery of very specific foods. So this would be a type of drone that could make deliveries. This would be a little on the small side. This is a 7-inch drone. So they measure the wing of a specific arm, and that is the sort of demarcation for the size of the drone. So typically you want around a 9-inch to make deliveries, but this could as well. It just would have a lighter payload. So this is pretty typical for what a lot of the smaller FPV drones would look like, and this is the most common size. So these are typically drones that go out one way, but they can be retrofitted to carry other attachments and things like that. So the bigger ones would make for better supply drops that can carry heavier weights, and they would have sort of a release mechanism at the bottom instead of a sort of a charged payload. And then at the top would sit a battery pack, and then they could also attach sort of a fiber optic wire so that they're not subject to the sort of interference of electronic warfare elements. So this is a real drone. It's had certain elements removed from it that were sensitive or expensive because I requested one that was just sort of more of a prop. So I purchased this one from a guy in Ukraine that is manufacturing these sort of as a hobby, which is what a lot of Ukrainians do, just to sort of support the war effort. So I'll include some information on how you can support him if you'd like to donate towards drone purchases, and then also some information on humanitarian causes if you would like to help with that later. So this is, in short, what the drone looks like. So you have the little camera in the front, the propellers, the engine, chipset, and then certain radio communication information, and then this would connect to the battery. So this is what the drone looks like that's going to be delivering either delicious treats to friendly troops or a little bit of pain to some invaders. So this is what an actual drone looks like, manufactured in Ukraine. But what's it going to bring to a troop sitting at the front? That's what we're going to talk about now. So since that drone would have a very small payload, they would be taking more lightweight packages to the front. So these are small dehydrated soups. If anyone watched my volunteer video on the channel, then you'll know that I've worked in certain kitchens that have produced these. So they dehydrate goods so that they can be reconstituted at the front using hot water. So it's really lightweight, it's very compact, and now this is sort of more what soldiers would carry, something that's a little bit more lightweight. So this could very easily be dropped, still consumed dry if necessary, but it's designed to be sort of boiled in. Also, a lot of guys at the front love energy drinks. So the Red Bull type thing, Monster energy drinks, just something with caffeine to give them a bit of a punch because they're not drinking. Maybe there's also sort of just like a mental element so that they feel a bit more engaged and stimulated. And this is another not for resale drink that was provided to me by a friend who's serving at the front right now. Hey, Oris, thank you very much. And again, it mentions here, not for resale. So this is not publicly available. But anyone that watches my Stalker video or has played the Stalker games, this is a Ukrainian brand of energy drink. So soldiers at the front love energy drinks and cigarettes. But, you all know what a cigarette looks like. I don't need to have that here. So that's another common drop. They'll drop energy drinks, cigarettes, also batteries. So smaller batteries that are powering laptops or certain electronic elements out there. They'll drop those from drones as well. They'll have these boil-in bag packages. So this is similar, man down. So this is similar to one of the MRE elements that I had in my Ukrainian MRE review. So this would just be boil-in bag, or you could just eat it directly out of the package. And then we have one of the more complex packages, and this is sort of like Ukrainian gold. So this is salo. So this is packaged salo with some garlic I see in here and different bits of other meat, so some ham and then bread. So this is one of the bigger packages that would be dropped at the front. It's vacuum sealed and it's got some sort of very Ukrainian type flavors in it. And this is what inspired me to make this video. I got my hands on this and then wanted to assemble everything else. So this is one of the larger types that would be sent out there. I've seen other packages that are quite similar. So some sort of cured meat, maybe a bread, and then packages of other maybe sauces and things like that. So this is one of the more elegant bags. And it's not only just flying drones as well. They have land-based drones that sort of take in and remove trash. They also remove injured soldiers. So it's no overstatement to say that Ukraine is literally the cutting edge of the world's global drone technologies. The stuff that the guys are able to do here with just very little in terms of material is incredibly impressive. So this in general is sort of what, edible-wise, you could get delivered by air drone at the hottest parts of the front, even if you're totally cut off from any land route. So we're going to review these today. And for our channel first, I'm actually going to warm some of these up. So let's get into it. All right, so here we have two of the soups that I'm going to try. We have borscht and then harcho. So Ukrainian soup and then a Georgian style, but both very similar. And then instructions here. Pour boiling water, wait 7 to 10 minutes. So easy, a caveman could do it. I'm excited to see how I'm going to screw this up. That's the borscht, and then harcho. So, you know, very similar. And then you've got a little flavor package, and then some croutons to add, and then a little taste of home, some candy, some sugar, a tea package, that sort of thing. So, pretty cute. Ah. Ooh, red immediately. Excellent news. So we'll give those a little bit of time. Into this. Into the boiling water. So it looks like the soup is more or less reconstituted. So this is the harcho. And this is the borscht. It actually looks surprisingly appetizing. So it's really impressive that something that came from a dehydrated packet created that. And then our spa day griechka boiling away. So I think we're ready for lunch. Yum, yum. Just a few minutes later and the soup is done. And it actually looks pretty amazing. So I'm going to add the little croutons to it just to give it a bit more texture. I pre-added the spice packages to it. They both have the same spice packet. I think that it is a combination of chicken bouillon and some dried Ukrainian spices, or dried herbs, so like parsley and dill. It's really hard to serve any food without dill in Ukraine. So here first we have the harcho. So it looks like there's millet in here. Not typical for harcho, but you know, can't complain too much. Smells really hearty. Smells like a chicken soup. I feel like adding the croutons to this might be a little redundant, but seeing rehydrated vegetables in here, looks like a pretty wide range of stuff. So could be pretty good. Let's give it a go. Okay, that is surprisingly awesome. This is actually super good. Considering that it was dehydrated, rehydrated, and boiled, the texture is amazing. And the flavors, it's not overly salty. It's really well balanced. This is better than most, you know, instant ramen packets. Obviously, the lack of protein, you know, leaves us a little bit, you know, missing something. But flavor-wise, texture-wise, and then most importantly, calorie-wise, looks really dense. So if I was sort of at the gates of hell, I would find this incredibly refreshing. Sort of like a small taste of home when you're very far away. But no meal would be complete without a little bit of liquid nourishment to wet your whistle. So this is the nonstop energy drink that was sent to me by a friend at the front. And also, I found this. So this is from Varvar Brewery. If you saw my Ukrainian brewery video, That's where this is from. And here you'll see that these are little drone outlines. So this was a line of beer that they made specifically for a drone fundraiser. So this is a very limited release. And maybe I'll review this for a Patreon clip just because it's not really connected to the theme. This would never be delivered to the front. But this would. Please don't be bright green. Oh, it's like tea colored. Okay. I don't really like energy drinks, so I'm not really sure how this is going to shake out. But a lot of the guys drink this stuff pretty frequently. It smells exactly like a really, really punchy Red Bull. Yeah, sugary. It's got that. What is the element in it? Guarnarn, turnme, some kind of root, Asian root element to it. Pretty standard energy drink. A half a liter of an energy drink to me is like insane, but I'm also not 20, so don't think I would drink that in an entire sitting. But the guys like it. It's not bad. Tastes absolutely comparable to Red Bull. I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference. So, not bad if you're into that sort of thing, which I'm not. Now on to the star of the show, and that is the borscht. So the color, the texture, the elements in here, they really do sort of ape borscht. Smell-wise, it's got that beet smell, a slightly sweet element to it. I'm not seeing a lot of carrots or tomato elements, which you want just a little bit. You know, you still want the beet to sing. The beans have rehydrated beautifully. This actually looks super good. Cheers. Cabbage, beans, beets, carrot, onion. I taste it all. This is really, really, really well done. Really well done. The herb profile in here is fantastic. If this had bits of meat and a dollop of sour cream, this would be fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. This would absolutely scratch that itch at the front. And the fact that they're able to deliver something so delicious and so well-rounded is actually super impressive. Cabbage rehydrates beautifully. I taste the flavor and texture of it. It's not ruined at all. The beet has still got that nice little chew to it and that sweetness. All of it. This is really nice. This is actually super nice. I really like this. No notes. Beautifully done. Excellent. I wouldn't mind eating that anywhere. Camping, you know, just being somewhere where you have to travel light. Good stuff. Really well done. Thank you. So the time has come, as it seems in almost every video, for me to eat buckwheat. And this is from Vetis. So this is actually a broadly manufactured and publicly available version. But there are kitchens, some of which that I've worked at, that make things just like this. So they'll boil down meat, pull it off the bone, and then add some sort of grain element. It can be buckwheat, it can be millet, it can be oats, it can be barley. It just depends. So this is buckwheat with beef. And I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Antoine, and friend of the channel, who's been in several videos. For whatever reason, he gets such a kick out of this, me eating buckwheat. So Antoine, this one's for you. It's so hot, just like Mom never made. Super strong smell of buckwheat. Okay, so beef needs to be broken up just a little bit. I wish that there were more vegetable elements in here. The buckwheat at least looks like it was cooked properly. It's not exploded, just well hydrated. No veggies, just buckwheat and beef. Sounds like a English pub or a Ukrainian strip club. Get a big one. Cheers, Anton. That bite was almost entirely beef, so I feel like that may have been cheating. But the quality of the beef is really incredible. Really well done. Typically, they have sort of like the dregs of a beef bit. A lot of cartilage or something chewy, but that's really high quality beef. So this is going to be a bit more on the buckwheat side of things. The buckwheat has been cooked perfectly because if it's undercooked, it'll have too much of a chew and it'll still have that really woody flavor. And if it's overcooked, it loses all texture and sort of explodes and becomes mush. This is perfectly cooked. The beef is of like really high quality. My gripe is, other than the fact that I don't like the flavor of buckwheat, it's really lacking in terms of vegetables and things like that. A little bit of carrot or onion or something like that would really carry this a bit further. But As far as buckwheat goes, this isn't bad. It's still got that like wet wood, earthy stink to it. It's not bad, but I will never understand why Ukrainians love buckwheat so much. I don't think I'll ever get it. But, again, if you're at the front and this, fell out of the sky into your lap, this would be, manna from heaven. Especially as Ukrainian, the high quality beef, the perfectly cooked buckwheat. This is literally calorie dense go food. Not bad, eh? Pretty good, actually. So just a little bit of background on this. These were more, they called them like tourism bags. So these are for people doing, excursions or hiking or something a bit extreme away from civilization. But now they've become kind of mainstream in Ukrainian culture. So what was once a pretty expensive, pretty exclusive thing for hikers and stuff like that is now publicly available and way cheaper. So it's common for people in civilian life to eat this, especially given the fact that we lose electricity like for a long time during the day. There's certain days we only have 5 hours of power. So having a stack of this around, something that you can eat without having to cook it, or you can just boil it in a couple minutes, it really allows you to eat well, sort of in these windows where we have power. Or you can film a video for YouTube in between blackouts. And now for the coup de grace. Hopefully not the coup de grace. And now for the grand finale, which may be shockingly short, just because these are the vacuum packed bags. So this is sort of like the freshest type of food that you can possibly get at the front. It's vacuum sealed, and these are typically manufactured as close to the front as possible and then delivered by drone. This would be a bit too heavy for the FPV to carry, so you would need a bomber drone. So it looks similar, just bigger, and they would drop these. This is really dense, a lot of elements in here. Typically these are supposed to last around 10 to 20 days, but this one's been around for just a little bit longer than that. But it's been in the fridge. We'll see. Let's crack her open. Okay, so some condensation in here, which really worries me because there's bread in here. Usually they don't have bread just because bread doesn't travel very well. Oh, the bread is packed inside of the No, it's just fossilized. Okay, so smells okay. This bread is compressed, y'all. Jeez, that is packed. But the sallow looks okay. It's smoked as well. So it's not pure raw sallow. So that's going to help preserve it a bit more. Oh, look at that. Smoked, super garlicky. So there's like stewed garlic in here as well. Actually smells really good. Drippy. So yeah, you're looking at big blocks of fat. This is one of my qualms with Ukrainian pork. Look at that. Ugh. Actual ham. So we have some actual ham here as well. And this white bread looks, again, a little grim, but still sort of together. So everything seems like it's maintained pretty well. I guess we can give this a try. So some bread.
I don't know what I expected.
I don't know what I was expecting. It's compressed bread that's been compressed for way too long. Some of the ham. Very dry. But then again, I guess that's why they serve it with sallow. So we'll cut some fat. Some fat to accompany that dry ham. Oh, that's super good sallow. You want sallow to sort of melt in your mouth, and that's exactly what this is doing. And then we'll try this smoked garlic. It's still super firm, so this might blow my head off. Whew. Wow, yeah, really good. This is super good. So the meat's held together really well. It's kind of cured, so it makes sense. The garlic is still pretty well preserved. Rip to this bread, though. I thought it was vacuum sealed inside of another bag, but no, it's just been pressed that hard. So it's still okay, but it'll just take all the joy of textures out of eating it. This was actually manufactured by the Ukrainian military itself. So this is a super official package. and everything in here is pretty well made. I actually really like this. And again, if this was delivered 5 days after it was created instead of sort of a month later, it would be even better. And this would provide that real taste of home. So you've got this Ukrainian dark bread, the smoked pork, some ham, and salo. So this is a very Ukrainian grab bag of hearty flavors. Some of these packages have mayo or mustard or other accoutrement, but this is just, I think, a pure calorie dense version of those. Not bad. You can see sort of that pressed meat, smoked, high fat, ham, garlic, and then the unfortunate bread here. So that's what you're going to get in a drone drop at the front. Better than DoorDash. So that was a quick look at the food that can be delivered to the front. This wasn't designed to be sort of a comprehensive overview. This is just the most popular foods that are delivered there. There are other sort of elements that can be delivered, but typically it's dehydrated, packaged, or vacuum sealed. So that's the most common way to deliver food. And I would say that my favorite by far of the day was this borscht. It's really got like just an incredible, damn it. It's got an incredible sort of flavor profile there. The texture is really amazing considering that it was dehydrated. Tastes better than some borscht I've had in people's kitchens. And then the most surprising result of the day is actually buckwheat that I, dare I say, enjoyed. It's perfectly cooked. It's really balanced well with the quality of the beef and the beef fat. You want enough fat to sort of tame the buckwheat, but you don't want it to be too overwhelming. This is really well balanced. It just really needs some vegetables. But this is as good as it gets, I suppose. Really well cooked. Beautiful. Are you happy, guys? Positive review for buckwheat, finally. Stop commenting. Alright, so I hope you guys have a better understanding of the role that drones play, both sort of as a support role, as an offensive tool, and a reconnaissance element in the Ukrainian army, and understand just how important these things are for Ukraine's very survival. The official work's done by the Ukrainian military, fundraisers made by sort of influencers and celebrities within Ukraine, and then you have like the granular work of people doing this as a sort of hobby. It really shows just how meaningful it is that everyone sort of contributes a bit to the war effort, and everyone's doing their part, most of us. So that's the drone, that's the food, and some links in the description if you'd like to throw a couple dollars towards some people that are doing some really hard work without very much thanks. So thanks guys to everyone helping, thanks guys for everyone who's watching, and as always, till next time. Meow. Imagine the last thing you ever hear on Earth is the sound of an angry electronic mosquito.